Alright, here we go. So back in 2016, there was this massive fire that broke out in London. To this day, it's known as the Great Fire of London. But honestly, I think it should be called something like the Great Nap Spot, or maybe the Great Excuse for a siesta. See, I had just woken up from my customary nap when I heard a commotion outside. I opened one eye, sniffed the air, and let out a dramatic yawn. It was hot. Like really hot. Normally, I don't concern myself with the plight of others, but even I could tell that this fire was going to be a problem for the humans. They were running around like headless chickens, which meant that the entire city would soon be without its usual supply of fresh chicken. So I stretched languidly and sauntered over to find somewhere else to nap. As it turned out, the entire city was basically a giant ball of yarn. And I mean that literally. There wasn't a single place that wasn't engulfed in flames within hours. Now, normally I avoid eating anything that falls from the sky, but with all the commotion, I didn't have the heart to forage myself. So I sat patiently on this wall and waited for something edible to drop into my waiting paws. Eventually, a piece of bread, probably right off the top of someone's head, landed at my feet. It smelled faintly of smoke. But really, what doesn't in a city that's on fire? So I picked it up and ate it. It was actually quite tasty, if a bit dry, and I followed the sound of screams and ran off to find a nice cool place to take a nap. As it turned out, this little crack in the building was perfect. The heat was radiating outwards, and the flames were now far enough away that I didn't have to worry about being singed. I laid down, curled up, and went to sleep. Honestly, it was one of the most comfortable naps I've ever taken. Now, look, I'm not gonna lie, there were a few moments where I considered helping the humans. You know, maybe chase a couple of those pesky dogs out of the burning buildings, stop a few chickens from running around the rooftops, that sort of thing. But ultimately, why risk getting singed whiskers when there was a perfectly good nap to be had? Besides, this is my motto for life, and it served me well. If something's burning, it's probably best to stay far, far away, unless it's tuna. In that case, bring the whole house down. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.